Your fingers ache hitting those keyboards day in and day out. The job of a journalist is to play with words, and it's not one or two, but hundreds of thousands. The reports never cease. The words come out flying as the fingers go ballistic on the keypad. But then, like all mortals, we too need our break. We too need our freedom. We too need to satiate to desire to breathe fresh air. How long can you have the mask around your mouth and nose and pretend to be enjoying the world? And then in a flash I was off. I found a companion in the trusted 4x4 Jeep Compass Limited Plus Edition. Jeep is no ordinary brand. It encapsulates the best in driving and comfort. Come rough or smooth, you can trust its firm footing. Off I went, leaving the city behind, overtaking traffic and the city rush into the hinterland. The 2-liter BS6 compliant turbo diesel engine worked perfectly, generating 173 HP and a peak torque of 350 Newton meters. The 9-speed automatic transmission slotted itself into the right gears as we moved. Everything was automatic about it, and I did not have to fret about changing gears. It was almost like a dream come true. I was getting closer to the gentle world of bovines. I was getting closer to the green pastures and the narrow roads that leads to the pristine hinterland of Saharanpur in the state of Uttar Pradesh in North India. We took a diversion towards the church of Sardana, around 19 kilometers northwest of Meerut. It is also known as the Basilica of Our Lady of Graces and is dedicated to the Virgin Mary. Interestingly, the church was founded by Begum Samru, a Muslim woman who married Walter Reinhard Sombre, a European mercenary soldier. Later, when she became a Christian, she built the church, which was completed in 1822. The church of Sardana resembles the St. Peter Basilica of Rome, albeit with an Indian touch. The church of Sardana is the only basilica in entire North India. The church looked grand, and so did the red-colored Jeep Compass parked majestically in the forecourt. It was as though we were in the lap of God. A few hours later, we reached Saharanpur. I had acres of land to play and drive.
हम सहारनपुर में है और मेरे पीछे जो है ये इस इलाके के सबसे अच्छे मसाज वाले हैं, बहुत अच्छा मसाज देते हैं।
I spotted the traditional hookah near an equally traditional Indian cot. I was tempted. They say smoking is injurious to health, so one must desist from smoking completely. But a non-smoker like me was itching for some fun. One odd puff does not harm, I told myself, but I realized my lungs did not agree with the decision. It was time to explore the expansive fields. I walked with the villagers, trying to understand the landscape. The overnight rains had left the soil slushy and slippery. The motley crowd of villagers was excited. Two brothers, Rihan and Maz, accompanied me in the fields along with their father and several curious onlookers. They were curious why a city bloke like me was so excited at the sight of green fields. For me, it was bliss, surrounded by a handful of simple folks and acres of land. I was away from all the hustle and bustle of traffic. I was breathing fresh air, and I had discarded my mask like the others. It seemed that COVID had spared this village. It was apparent that nobody had ever stepped foot into an airport, the notorious route from where the deadly COVID had entered our country. It was as though gods were smiling at us. I walked by the side of a rice field that stood so green and lush in the afternoon sun. It was hot and humid. I covered my head and face, but the intense heat did not deter me from reaching out to the crops swaying in the breeze. I gazed for a long time at the intense foliage around me, the mango groves, the cornfields, the rice fields, and the trees laden with guava. I stood in the midst of the field, gazing into the horizon as far as I could see. I wanted to test the Jeep Compass, which claims to be a dependable off-roader. Now it was time to go over some very slushy and uneven terrain. I pressed the knob on the floor console to engage the 4x4 feature. I turned the knob to mud mode. As one wheel digs into the deep slushy pit, the wheels spin, shifting traction and power smartly to the others, yanking the vehicle out of the mess, making everything look so easy and achievable. The Jeep Compass had just proved its off-roading capabilities. I drove to my heart's content. It did not take much time for the bright red color of the Jeep Compass to don the colors of Mother Earth. By the time I had enjoyed my off-road adventure, the vehicle was a patchwork of mud and slush. It was time for some more fun. I spotted an old and dilapidated Scott's tractor. Surprisingly, it was in working condition, I was told. I asked Rehan to accompany me as I took a short spin. There was so much to enjoy. It was the first time in my life that I was driving a tractor. Villages are fun, but cities never leave the wise grip they have on you. It was time to head back. It was time to wash the Jeep Compass and bring it back to its glorious red. We bid adieu to the fields, the animals and the people as we headed back to the city, promising ourselves that we would be back someday.